Hey everyone, I'm Phillip Kennedy Johnson, writer and co-creator of The Last God, a comic book series from DC Black Label. When we started building the world of The Last God, we wanted to make something completely new, but also to give hardcore fantasy readers and gamers something familiar to hold on to, especially since we knew we wanted them to make their own adventures in this world someday. Some of the races of Cain Anuun should look pretty familiar at first glance, but look closer and you'll see something very different. The holy assassins of the Elven Order of the Ferrymen are a very different breed than the sparkly, immortal elves of Rivendell or Mirkwood. The dwarves of the Lonely Mountain would have nothing at all to say to the stone-skinned cannibal dwarros of the Abyssal Realm. And you've never seen anything like the Jorvik before.
When last we left our adventure, your new friend Julie was just vanishing from sight, clutched in the arms of a mysterious and menacing elven man who is currently flying away or has flown away on the back of a gyrehawk. And you and the villagers stand in shock when the middle-aged woman Varla, who welcomed you, falls to her knees. My baby!
Oh no.
We're gonna have to find her, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Sid, but I believe that is the next course of action.
Oh, this party is so good, though.
Sid.
Sid, you'd be a real bummer if you tried to start it back up, I think.
Yeah, you're right. The vibe's totally dead.
Imagine how better the party will be once we recover that kidnapped child, though.
Bro, this is exactly why I like you, bud. That's exactly correct. All right. I'm in.
Nathaniel has already run out the door.
Do we see where this man escapes to? Is he completely out of our reach? Is he just gone?
He seems to be out of sight. But what you notice is that while no one was expecting the exit there, none of the rest of these people seemed particularly surprised to see him.
Who is that guy?
Varla, right?
Yes,
Julie is your daughter.
yes. She's only a few years old. 5 is too young.
Is this the first time that man has taken a child from this village?
Oh, he's never done that before, no, but we always give him what he asks. He was one of us once. Many years ago, his father was a fisherman in our local river, and I'm ashamed to say our village elders cheated him of everything he had. But it was long ago, and the debt has been paid many times over, but he's been twisted by it. He can't let it go. Kilak is his name. He's found artifacts of great power somewhere nearby. He's holing up in one of the ancient eldritch strongholds. What are we going to do? He's punishing us.
They're trying to rack her brain if she would have any memory or any knowledge of this, because she has been told stories and she is obviously Aelva. Would she have ever seen this man before? Would she have ever known it?
So this is sort of local to this village on the edge of Chikatla-Tuo.
So he is not any
He's not someone known to you. He's not a famous figure. He's been terrorizing this town, you find out, for about 10 years now. But it's basically just very local. And if you want to ask sort of the other villagers more questions or try to get more info, you please feel free to do that. But that's what you're getting from Varla right now.
If I may, he sounds like a real trash person.
Well said,
Varla
Ridley.
wipes a tear.
Well, really.
He may have had a good heart once, but I don't know what became of it.
Yeah, I do think after I heard some of this, I would just be looking with Nathal, like, are we gonna just hit the road? Like, let's check out the landscape. Let's try to figure out like what direction we should be headed ASAP.
Yeah, where do you think this guy went? Varla?
I'm gonna have you, not that she's not inclined to tell you, but I'm gonna go ahead and just, as you guys are asking around the villagers, I'm gonna have you make an investigation roll just to see how much you sort of background you get.
Ooh, crit.
Yes! The rest of you may roll, but Ridley's got the scoop.
I got an 8.
Also got an 8.
You have both rediscovered the mead. You feel weird about it now. But like it's, what else are you gonna not drink it? Like,
It's not helping anybody not to drink the mead.
yeah.
Drink your feelings.
While the rest of you have tended to your wounds and are gathering yourselves, Ridley has been making friends throughout the village. What you discover is that they don't know where Killick is, but they know he found the lair of Ralsh. Ralsh was a guild wizard, a knight of the guild, when the wars between the Guild Eldritch and the Elven nations were raging across this land. All kinds of scars were left on the landscape, and one of them is that the places of power of the Guild Eldritch, or of the magicians who would go on to become that guild, still infest the landscape. The problem is, they know he found it, they have stories about it, but they don't know where it is. Partly because why would you go there? It is full of horrible, twisted magic and unknown dangers. What they do know is that two towns over, there is a predominantly human settlement named Borlthing. And they know that staying in that village is a human, a youngish, meek, interesting human who has been traveling all over this region, asking people all their questions about history and tales, and they say his name is Paolí. They think that if anybody has sort of cross-referenced those maps and that history, Paolí might know, and he is staying 2 towns away in Borlthing.
Great. So while everyone rests, I sort of piece all this together from talking to the townspeople, and I relate this back to everybody as they finish bandaging themselves up. I definitely would be recommending that, yes, we seek out this Paolí as quickly as possible. It sounds like our key to finding the lair.
Varla tearfully looks at you as you were having this conversation. Would you really aid us? It's not your debt. She's not your child.
Well, I have gifted Julie with a very powerful artifact, and she is in many ways someone I am indebted to because she carries my magic with her. I could not possibly let her go harm.
Ridley, you gotta be careful who you give that magic to, man. We can't just go around protecting every little kidnapped girl that just has a wooden sword, It's tempting, but...
Sid.
I look at Sid when she says that, and all of a sudden you hear that sort of uncharacteristic, like, deep mountain voice, and I say,
I was careful.
All right.
Varla says, the mother's blessing on all of you. Thank you so much. And leaves you to go on your way?
We should probably get going to find this person who will find this child. Varla, we're leaving now. And when we
I would
come
like
back,
to take some mead to go in case Paolí wants to, barter for information. That's what I'm gonna say is why.
Can we get a few of these to go, Varla?
Yes, whatever you need. We owe you. She's lost in thought because she did know Kilak when he was younger, and she remembers when he wasn't this way. But the path he is on now, bring her back. Bring Julie back. So they wave. What do you do?
I get on top of Nogelnooser, and anybody who wants, he's a big boy, so anybody who wants to climb up on top is welcome to join me. The view is great.
I'll walk.
Nathula glides up on top. I'm still learning about this world. What other opportunity would I have to ride on this thing?
His name is Nogelnooser. It means bone crusher.
And with that, you depart from the village. Where are you headed?
We're heading to Borlthing, which is the place where Paolí is apparently staying.
Borlthing.
Nah, I'm trying to ride a row, by the way.
It's not happening. No, Ridley.
I keep asking.
Nope. And I keep telling you no.
very
I
slow.
know. We'll be fine. I'll help you keep up.
The giant loping animal is in front while Ridley is taking slow stone steps forward along the road.
I have little legs.
Yeah, you look heavy. I'm not going to carry you. Come on.
Oh, all right.
Best I can do is I'll put you on a leash. That's it.
Wow, if I had any ego, this would be extremely humiliating.
But you don't. So let's go.
All right.
So you make your way through the forest paths, 2 towns over to the predominantly human settlement of Burlthing. There's clearly an inn in the center and a few smaller dwellings. What do you make for?
I would first take off the leather French bulldog harness that Ro put on me, and then I would say to Naudula, I would remind Naudula the humans are perhaps less accepting of both of us, so to be wary of.
Good warning, Ridley. Yes, if you can, try and let Sid and I do most of the talking.
Yeah, we're
Sounds
good
like
at
a really, really dangerous choice, but I see your point.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Nautila, shall we advise them at all before they do all the talking, or shall we not actually let them do all the
Has
talking?
the mead worn off yet?
Do you have disguise self, Nautila?
I do not.
Hang back, just hang back. Game Master, is there a information center in this town? Any sort of a
Library?
A sentry or some
Tourist desk.
a truth desk, a town crier, somebody who seems like some sort of authority?
Perception check.
Anyone with like a yellow exclamation point over their head?
Yes, anybody off to the side and they're very well lit and everything else is kind of muddled. I feel like we should talk to that thing or character or person. I also rolled a 4, but I have a +3 to perception, so the mead is wearing off a little, but it's a 7 total.
You're pretty sure those are streets and those are houses. There's no giant army here, so there may or may not be like soldiers quartered nearby. You can rule that out. But I mean, I guess go to the inn.
How far apart are we at this point?
You guys can be approaching from the edge of the central square without being seen because the trees come right up to it.
Okay. I rolled a 16 +4 for perception, so would I be able to advise them? Because message basically is I can be 120 feet away and whisper to you guys, so we can tell you how to interact.
Yeah, especially because we both have message. We could be
Cyrano,
micromanaging you.
in your ears. Cyrano de Bargerax in the edge of the forest, consulting with the two of you as you wander into the street going, I guess the inn. But you have spotted that there is light spilling out of a side door on that inn.
I whisper all of that to them and tell them to go seek the light.
Who said that?
Get out of here. Get away. Sid, how drunk are we? Are they?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I can only talk to one of you guys.
Oh.
Ridley has to talk to the other person.
Well, one of us heard something and the other of us is very drunk.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Real weird hearing somebody else's voice in there. I've been through had a lot of potions in my day. That's never happened. Yeah. Can I talk back?
You can whisper back.
Should we go in the door?
What is she saying? Sid, what is she saying?
She said go in the door. I don't know. There's a door right there.
She said, I messaged to Ro. Yes, she said, go in the door. Go in the door.
Ridley,
all right,
I
go
said
go
I'm
in the
not
door.
gonna pick you up. Ridley, where are you? You little scamp.
We were
where are
walking
you?
towards the door. I yell back. We were going there anyways.
You don't need to yell. Just
Okay. Thank you.
We'll go to the door. All right, we go to the door.
A farmer on the other side of the square is watching a little puzzled as the enormous barbarian. And did you bring the good boy into town with you or leave him at the edge of the forest?
I left him at the edge. People tend to have reactions.
Usually there's
to
panicking.
nobleness.
Yeah.
Yes.
As the dark-haired woman and the enormous warrior are sort of seem to be talking in all directions. Maybe having some kind of argument. It's unclear. Do you go in the front door or the side door?
Go in the side door.
Oh God, I hate that every single time. Okay, side door.
And well done, you, because the door cracks open and a terrified face with a shock of red hair goes, "Who's that?"
Hello, fair maiden. It's us.
I'm a lad, I am.
Hello?
Apologies, lad. You're innocent of face and high of voice. We made a mistake, but...
Who are you?
We're just here to help.
Oh, thank God! And he throws the door open.
Uh-oh.
and you can see that huddled in a small side chamber is a somewhat stout young man with a shock of red curls who looks scared witless. And you can see that the door leading from this chamber into the rest of the inn, he has hastily barricaded with everything he can find.
Oh, don't be scared. He's just, that's Fro. He's scarier than he looks. You don't need to be afraid of him. He's totally nice.
You're here to rescue me, so my letters to father made it out.
Sid, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, let's...
I think this is a side quest. I don't think this has anything to do with what we were doing. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think any of those are Paolí.
No.
Do you think we should help him?
I'm sorry, Paolí?
Yeah.
Yes, you, stout ginger. Do you know Paolí?
I am Paolí, scrivener of Tirgalad.
Well, we are looking for you, lad. What do you need? How can we help you?
Can you get me all the way out of this village before the people out there catch that I'm leaving?
That sounds like you got yourself into some trouble with the people of the village. What did you do?
What is happening, Sid?
A 10-4? We found Paolí, but he's in trouble.
Make Ro pick him up.
I'm not gonna pick him up, Ridley.
He's small.
That's not.
Just pick him
that's
up
not-
and run out of town.
That's. Actually, wait a minute. That's actually pretty smart.
That's
I
kind
think
of a good
maybe we should
idea.
do that.
It's kind
Yeah.
of what he wants, and he's small.
Yeah, let's just do
Okay.
that.
Here we go. Huh!
What? No,
Let's
I don't
go.
owe you any money.
Come on. I grabbed a flagon of mead on the way out.
We're busting you out of here, young lad. We got you. Just try not to make any noise, all right?
Out the main front door. Here comes Sid and I. We're gonna reconvene with
wait.
our team.
You went in the side door. Do you go through the barricaded door holding Paolí?
Don't go through the front door. He's trying to be on the DL.
That's
man.
what I did, apparently.
All right.
Gotta commit.
Determined, Crow flings aside the poorly constructed barricade
Oh boy.
Let me just move these chairs.
You just walked right through it.
and emerges
Wolfman.
into the thing. At which point, Sid, you fully recognize this bar. This is Borrelthing. You are maybe not so popular here either. So about
Go out the side door, Sid. Don't be like Ro.
I'm gonna creep. All right, I'm just
Sid!
gonna do my little. I'm gonna do my. Shh.
Sid, what are you doing? Where are you going? Sid,
I'm gonna.
come.
Shh.
an angry crowd has swiveled their faces to see Crow coming through this door that they were chasing. It says, "Oh, what do it? Who are you?"
Sid, get out here. I grab Sid and pull her out into the main. Come on.
Cries are rippling through this increasingly confused bar crowd as the person that they thought was barricaded alone in a side closet has suddenly become three people, one of whom is definitely that lady who started all the trouble last year. And as honest, I want you both to make performance checks or intimidation checks.
So, I'm gonna say to Nautila, because I can tell stuff's Breaking Bad, right?
That's shouting. There's shouting is at a fever pitch in the inn.
I'll say I can try to break up some of the crowd through, we'll call it influence. Let's get closer, and I'll see if my magic can't disperse the crowd.
I bursted through this door again,
Yes.
holding Paolí, and I'm trying to signal Sid to just come into the main bar room because I
No.
wanted to head out the front door.
Yeah.
And I rolled an intimidation roll, and I have a +2. I rolled a 19 +2. That's 20/21. So
here's what the combined effect of all of this chaos is so much more than these village folks were ready for today. They thought that they had cornered the scribe with the very high bar tab, and instead, a party of warriors is tromping through the front of their bar. They're being revisited by people who they think nearly burned the town down. The stories have grown in the time since you've been here, Sid. you may have assassinated someone. They're not sure. And it seems as if Paolí has somehow acquired a crack team who are escorting him right out of that bar. So the shouting follows you, but the people who are spilling out the door, if you make it out that front door, their hearts don't seem to be fully into it, because they still, I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, I rolled persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sure it's not sleight of hand or stealth? I got a 8.
You have convinced everyone who thinks they remember you that you were twice as bad as they think you were.
At this point, do I see anybody who looks like they might be in charge?
No signs of authority yet. Though if you watch long enough as the people spell out the front, a man in an apron might come out, and this being the inn.
All right, I want, as soon as I see somebody who looks like they might be separating themselves out and sort of like about to declare something, I want to cast command at 2nd level on them.
Tell me what happens.
You speak a 1-word command to a creature you see within range. Target must make a wisdom saving throw or follow this command. I want to command disperse. I have to be within 60 feet, so I'm going to try to be like sort of under Naudula's hood, but I'm going to be calling out as loudly as possible. Disperse to this person.
Amazing. What's the difficulty?
It is 13.
It does not matter. They completely fail. The man in the apron immediately starts sort of smacking everybody with the ladle that he's holding and says, "Come, go back inside. Make trouble in your own homes. Leave us alone for once. We've enough of this."
Sid, let's go. We don't have time for this. Come on, I'm holding somebody. Run up here with me. Let's go.
It's not. Listen, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. All right. It wasn't. Listen, it was the guy that was stealing your taxes. It was his idea. All right.
Sid, I think you're making it worse. Sid.
Okay.
I think you made it exactly twice as worse. Let's just go.
And as the final villagers return to their homes or sullenly to the interior of the bar, the innkeeper crankily throws shut the door and goes to set things to right, and the 4 of you are standing with a very shaken but simultaneously relieved looking red-headed young man. Oh,
Hello, little boy.
I'm a man.
Oh. Just keep messing this up.
Please, I think I can stand.
I set Paolí down.
He staggers. His balance was not that good. He brushes off his robes. He says, "Yes, hello. I am Paolí, Scrivener's son of Tirgalad. What can I do for you? I owe you a great debt."
Oh, a great debt? How about some money?
Oh, I don't have any of that. That was the problem.
That's usually what people are, that's what people usually are talking about when they say
Sid.
debt is money. All right. Okay, no, we're looking for information.
We need to know the location of the lair of Rausch.
You have hit on a sweet spot. This guy goes through his life wishing that somebody would ask him for any of these stories that he collects.
Okay, calm down, nerd. Just tell us where the lair is.
And in a torrent of words, he attempts to walk you through this history of the lost legends of Rausch, and he thinks he may have blah, 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 and then finally pulls...
Yeah, sorry, we rolled some high history checks earlier. You can kind of give us like the Cliff's Notes, you know.
He seems he's so intrigued to have met someone who knows this, but frustrated because he loves doing the telling. And he's like, "Did you know there's a special version of Remember Nauth Laloa that's unique to this region?" And he starts into the song, and you have to stop him and get him back on topic. And he finally pulls out a small canvas, and on it is a map. Yes, a map that shows Varla's village, Burlthing, and a little ways into Chikatla-Tuo is marked the lair of Rausch. Easy as pie.
It's in the forest.
It is.
I grew up in the forest and I know them well. Is there anything we should know about the approach?
I haven't been there myself, but I would love to go. If you have any stories, by the way, when you go to the Vulair, if you can come back and tell me about any of its notable features or potentially any artifacts that might be located inside, or any remnants of ancient magic from Rausch and...
Sure, dude.
If you like, we can send you like a canary in a coal mine, just like straight up to the lair, and you can test it out for us before we head in.
And his face falls a little bit. He says, well, there's an awful lot of ebon snare out front.
That's what I was waiting for,
Yes, and he starts to describe the carnivorous plants created by the guild Eldritch early in its history, who have, of course, like so much guild magic, broken loose and infested other portions of the world. And he says, Rausch specialized in that sort of hybrid magic. So I've never been there, but I would maybe keep an eye out.
That's great to know. Now, Game Master, I helped write the powers of the Ebon Snare, but does Ridley, my character, sort of have they heard of this
Make
before?
a check.
Cool. What kind are we doing? Nature?
I think you could do nature or maybe arcana because they're magical. Your choice.
I'm going to do arcana because my arcana check is ridiculous. And I get to roll with advantage on arcana checks if I want to because I am a Jawrick. Oh, but whoops, I rolled a 1, so that's good. I rolled a 4 after that. Which
With
is not,
advantage of 4. You know, you're feeling out of your element.
It's a +6.
Okay.
I mean,
that gets you to 10.
Well, here's the good news. Crow is very much at one with nature. And he has a +1 to nature. I rolled a 15 + 1, 16. So I have a 16. Does that give me any information about the Ebon Snare that I could relay to the rest of the party?
You know what? It does. A carnivorous plant originally bred and planted at the pinnacle as a pest deterrent. Its intended prey were rats, cats, and gallows imps, and was only meant to exist in tightly controlled areas of the pinnacle. But after the fall, during the first plague outbreak, this was about 30 years ago, Ebon Snare began to appear in various places along the Quilea River and within the forests of Chakatla-Tuo.
Wow, Ro, I had no idea you knew so much about horticulture.
Yes, I love plants, but I hate these things.
It has some resistance to some forms of magic, but the vines will reach out and catch you, and it does not love fire. So with that in mind, with a map and a knowledge of the dangers, you heading into the forest?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Whitney, shall we send them in first?
Wait, now this place is not prejudiced towards you, so you can come with. You don't have to hang back.
Ro has all his hit points now. So if he wants to go ahead and canary this thing up, he should go for it.
I will.
With this knowledge in hand, you all set out through the forest, and sooner than you might be comfortable with, you find yourself emerging into a desolate interior portion, sheltered by some towering rocks. And as you approach it, you notice that the vegetation around your legs is higher and higher and higher. But you can see what looks like a cave in the rocks, about 60 feet that way. You have followed the map to what may or may not be the lair of Rausch.
Well, everyone, it's time for us to go find this Kreelok and to retrieve Julie.
I am good at finding things, both in the way of traps and objects, so I can find magical assistance that way. We could perhaps see if there are any purposely laid ebon snares for us, and also I may be able to locate the sword that I blessed.
Ooh, can I use investigation and see if I can creepy peepee?
Let's let Ridley try the check to see if your talent for finding things can navigate through the tangled vines of this entranceway.
So I'm specifically talking about 2 spells.
Mm-hmm.
So these aren't so much skills so much as I could cast Find Traps.
Oh, great. Go on and get it, Riddle Snack.
All right, so it has a range of 120 feet, but other than that, it just says a trap for the purpose of the spell can include anything that would inflict sudden or unexpected effect you'd consider harmful.
Perfect.
So I cast Find Traps. I have Locate Object also, so as long as it's within 1,000 feet, I can locate the sword.
Which, do you want to do both of those things?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what does it look like? How do you get the feedback from your Detect Trap spell?
I see a glowing blue aura around any trap.
You see in front of you, as your companions are tentatively plunging forward into the writhing mess that is the almost jungle vegetation outside this, suddenly distinct areas on the left and in the middle on the right, and again just to the left of the entrance of the cave are glowing as what now sort of illuminates the mouths of 3 ebon snare creatures. And you are suddenly aware that you know exactly where that little girl's sword is. It's inside that cave. It's moving away from you, and it's gone?
So the sword is more than 1,000 feet away, and most likely Julie is as well. And I'm trying to relay very quietly through message to either Ro or Sid, whoever's taking the lead, like exactly where these ebon snares are. Trying to tell them, to stay out of range of them as much as possible.
So you're all going to have advantage on this because Ridley is talking you through the pattern of the front of these vines. And you can make, I'm going to say, either a stealth roll or an athletics roll to see how well you're able to navigate the ebon snare field and get to the entrance.
I'm rolling for stealth. I got a 7.
You get advantage for sure because you literally can see where the danger spots are.
Ooh, crit! 22.
All right. With that crit, Ridley, who is it that you catch almost? Well, let's see how the rolls come in.
I got an 11.
11 for Sid.
I got an 8 total. Not great. An
8 for Ro. And Nathla?
Athletics 18.
18. All right. Nathla
like
is
Ro.
making this look very easy. Just sort of hopping from place to place on Ridley's directions. And Sid is making her way pretty successfully through this field. But Ro has one leg almost into what is clearly to you the gaping maw of an ebon snare plant that wants to grab him and pull him down into there. When, Ridley?
Okay. I cast shucks.
Well, you critted on your navigation roll, so what I'm giving you is that you can have a word of warning at the exact right moment.
Oh, so that I just say don't.
And I listen.
And Ro pauses as his small friend gets the crucial word of warning in there, redirects, and you all make your way successfully through that field into the lair of Ralsh. You can immediately see there's layers of thick dust in here. It has been a long, long time since Ralsh, the guild wizard, distorted and perverted this place. But you can see the remnants of his experiments, some interesting objects around, and more recently, you can see someone's been living here. There's a bedroll leaning up against an abandoned set of books. There is some changes of clothes in the corner. But most clearly of all, you see in the center of the room an enormous crystalline surface riddled with cracks, and it is glowing bright purple.
Ooh.
And that's it. There's no apparent exit from this room, and there's no one inside this room.
We all know what perp means, right?
Yes.
That's some guild magic, baby.
What now?
Well, magic friends, any ideas? Because Ro and I, we do the fighties and the sneakies and the peepees, but no magic.
I cast augury to discover whether or not it is of weal and woe, or nothing should we interact with this crystal structure.
Mixed, but you can make an Arcana check because you may have encountered this before.
Base roll is 9, Arcana bonus is 6, so that's 15 plus proficiency bonus of 2.
You have seen one of these before. These are the gates created by wizards of the Guild Eldritch, which, when once created, remain, possibly for hundreds of years after the wizard who made them stops existing. They connect 2 points in space. And you must be very careful because anyone can go through one of these.
Do you relay that?
I sure do.
Whoa.
And I'll tell them what happened with the sword and say it is very likely that Julie was taken through this gate by our unseemly friend.
Oh, I see. It was within 1,000 feet and then it just disappeared off of your rock dar, correct?
Yes, a vague aura in the distance.
You see a gate before you, and the sword has vanished.
I would feel very certain they went through this gate, yeah.
I would like to grip my great sword and, like the hero of old, a Leroy Jenkins, make my way through this portal, through this gate, as quickly and as loudly as possible.
With a mighty cry,
Oh boy.
Crow, holding his weapon,
Attack!
disappears before your eyes through the gate. Do you follow?
Bro! Crow! Oh!
I do call out not to touch any of the dragon eggs as I follow Nautila's lead.
I heard that.
As we go in there, I just reach over to Ridley and cast Protection from Good and Evil on him.
Returning the bond of friendship and companionship, Nautila, you reach out to Ridley's shoulder, and do you all go through the gate?
Yeah, Nogglenoozer's with me, right?
If you want it, yes.
That's a good boy. Yeah, he comes on in with.
And last, the Ursulon lumbers through, and if you were watching this cave, this very strange and interesting party would just wink out of sight. As for the rest of you, you come tumbling one by one out the other side of something, and the first thing you notice is the chill forming on every part of your body as the howling, icy wind hits you in the face, and you realize you are in the frozen north, and behind you, that thing is not glowing.
Uh-oh.
And there we end for today.
Oh, man.
Welcome to my home, everybody.